Alright, so listen, today is a big day. After years of build-up, Shadows Upon Time, the final book in Christopher Ruccio's Sun Eater series, is finally out. And yeah, I'm emotional, man, because this is the end of one of the best, most ambitious sci-fi series of our time, full stop. If you've seen the covers around or heard people say, it's like Dune meets The Name of the Wind, you might have wondered, is it really that good? And I'm here to tell you, yeah, it's that good. Better, actually. And that's probably considered a hot take opinion. It's honestly once in a lifetime great. I remember reviewing the first book in a long ago video here on my channel, back in my old bedroom slash filming setup, and we've come full circle. I even made a video a couple years ago where I collaborated with Hex Gaming and I got to customize a PS5 controller to look like the cover of Empire of Silence. I'll leave a link to that video down below if you want to watch it. By the way, I still use this controller today. I love it. This was one of my favorite collabs ever. So today I'm breaking down what makes Sun Eater so special, why it stands out from everything else out there, and why now, with the final book in hand, it's the perfect time to start if you haven't already, or to continue if you're already in the middle of this saga. So the first book, Empire of Silence, which was released in 2018, pre-COVID era, in a universe long forgotten, it kicked off this massive space epic 10,000 years in the future massive, and it follows this dude named Hadrian Marlowe. Man, sci-fi writers really love using the last name Marlowe for some reason. I see it everywhere in sci-fi. He's born into this powerful noble family destined for politics, but he's like, nah, I don't want to do this, and he runs away. And this happens almost immediately in the opening act. And what happens after? Yeah, he accidentally ends up changing the fate of the entire galaxy, you know, as one does. But here's the hook. This whole thing is told from Hadrian's future point of view. He's older, looking back on his life like a memoir, telling you how he became the man who destroyed a sun, and with it 1,000 worlds. That's like the first kind of opening line of the first book. See, I told you, it's quite a hook. And from there, it just goes. It just trucks along. Huge space battles, alien wars, political schemes, philosophy, which seems to be a really big theme in the series, heartbreak, religion, existential dread. It's got everything, like Mass Effect in novel form. What I love is that it's not just a space opera. It just feels ancient and mythic, like a book you found in a tomb that you're not supposed to read, like something talked about on Ancient Aliens or something. I think it gives off this feeling because of the way that it's written. Humanity spread to millions of worlds, and it's so far in the future that technology has basically become magic, so it's like this blend of high sci-fi and fantasy that's just chef's kiss. It's like if Tolkien and Herbert and Gene Wolfe sat down and said, let's make something insane together. If the author ever stumbles upon this video and watches this, I definitely just boosted his ego there. Now let's talk about the writing, because Ruccio's style is something else. I lightly mentioned it a minute ago, but it deserves a little bit more of a deep dive. So the prose is really rich and heavy, like not in a bad way either, but in that beautifully written, you might want to underline every other sentence kind of way. I swear while reading the series, I was suspicious of every single line. Every line feels like foreshadowing, and you know what? It kind of is. Hadrian's voice is super introspective. Again, you're reading someone's memoir. He's telling you his life story with all of the regret, ego, pain, and nostalgia that comes with it. You can tell this dude has lived, and because it's all from his perspective, it feels personal, even when he's out here talking about like wars that span galaxies. You can argue if that feels relatable to you or not. And it's kind of wild that a book can feel both philosophical and badass at the same time. Like one minute Hadrian's reflecting on the nature of humanity, and the next he's cutting down aliens with a sword made of plasma, and somehow it just works. You also just can't get any more sci-fi than that. Like forever in my mind, when I think of sci-fi, Sun Eater will definitely come to mind. It's like Mass Effect, Sun Eater. That's sci-fi to me. And this stuff gets deep. I mean, it's 7 huge, chunky novels. Sun Eater is a series that really wants to say something. It's about ambition. It's about how far humans can go before they stop being human. You know that whole, what does it mean to be human thing that sci-fi loves to do? Yeah, this series nails that. And yes, each book is a chunky mofo. Some will say it doesn't need to be that long. And I agree, but the series is all about legacy. legacy, like what you leave behind when the universe forgets your name. And all of that detail add to it, in my opinion. Hadrian's whole story is him trying to matter. But it's messy, it's painful, it's very real. Especially in this final book. Oh, the pain is legit. You don't just watch him win, you watch him screw up, you watch him learn, and you watch him lose. It's tragic as hell, but it's also kind of beautiful. Investing this many years in a saga is beautiful, and investing in all of these characters. This series wouldn't work without them. Hadrian's obviously the heart of it all, and he's not perfect. He's very arrogant and he's idealistic, and sometimes he makes terrible decisions, but I mean, that's the whole point. You grow with him over the course of thousands of pages. And then there's Volca, Gibson, the Sealson. I've never learned how to say that word. All of these people who orbit his life and challenge who he is. It's one of those series where every relationship feels like it actually means something. And even the villains are complex. You understand them, you might not like them, but you get them. So here's the thing. Now that Shadows Upon Time is out, the story is complete. 7 main novels, multiple novellas, a little universe of lore. You can read it straight through now, from start to finish, and experience the full arc without waiting years between releases. And okay, doing this might burn you out, but I've seen crazier things. Maybe read a cozy fantasy in between, but honestly, it's rare to find a large sci-fi series like this because it is so consistent. Each book builds on the last. The already gigantic world gets bigger, the stakes get higher, the emotions deeper. By the time you hit Kingdoms of Death or Ashes of Man, you're like, okay, I'm in too deep. I can't stop now. So binge to your heart's content. Just shower every once in a while. You know, that's all we ask. It's kind of like that one show you tell yourself you're just gonna check out, and then suddenly it's 5 a.m. and you've watched 3 seasons. To be fair, this is something you'll want to take slowly, I think. It is pretty complex. And even though I've been invested in the series for 7 years, I could use some more. So take it slowly. I think what Ruscio does so well is that every book feels like it matters. It's all leading somewhere, and when you get to the end, and I won't spoil anything, it does feel earned. Big, emotional, cosmic level payoff that hits you right in the heart. Okay, so bottom line, if you're into, you know, Dune, or even just big sci-fi that makes you feel something, you need to read this. It's smart. It's emotional. It's full of cool world building, sword fights, philosophy. Like, what else do you want? And it's the kind of series that sticks with you. You'll finish it and find yourself just thinking about it days later. And now that the journey's over, this is the perfect time to start. You can binge the whole saga. No waiting, no cliffhangers, just pure immersive storytelling. And honestly, I'm not afraid to say it's one of the most impressive sci-fi achievements in decades. Congrats to Ruscio for sticking the landing, and to you, if you've been on the fence, do it. Start with Empire of Silence and come back and thank me later. Anyways, that is all I have for you today. Big shout out to all the Sun Eater fans out there celebrating this finale. We are eating today. Drop your favorite book. I want to hear which one hit you the hardest. For me personally, I'm going to go with this finale. And if you're new here, hey, subscribe if you love big bookish deep dives like this. And until we meet again, happy reading.